What's up, fam? We back up with another leg day workout. We were starting off with 225 on the back, lightweight, just to get ourselves warmed up. And before we get started, I want to shout out to Gym Reapers. I'm not getting paid by them, but shout out to them because I just got these new knee sleeves. And I'm not going to lie, these knee sleeves are kind of hot, and I don't like being hot for my workouts, but they definitely help the brother out when lifting this heavy-ass weight. But, definitely lifting this weight, I was doing some good reps. I'm trying to get as deep as I possibly can with my knees. And yeah, just try to start off something light and then let's add another plate on. You know how it is. Let's go. All right, y'all. We added that 315 on the bar. You want to get it set up real nice. And I want you guys to really think about your actual form whenever you start doing these workouts too. Keeping you guys' shoulders real nice and tight. Get as close as you can to your body with your hands while still giving yourself some leverage from the top whenever you're gripping the bar. And I don't have the best form squatting, to be honest. I've always had that problem because I have a back injury that I obtained playing football in my younger years. But you do want to try to get as deep as possible. Don't hinge forward, which is what I am actually doing here. And so, you want to try to stay as straight as you possibly can while still getting a good bend inside those knees. But as you can see, too, I'm also taking pauses, to kind of catch myself, catch my breath, and also get a brace in. As soon as we're done with those 315 squats, we're going right into these hanging knee to chest raises. And you really want to get a stretch from the back too, and, really crunch those abs to the top. If there's anything that makes my abs really be defined after a good workout, is definitely these. Getting that good stretch from the bottom to the top is always good. A lot of the times, your hands may give out, or if you're doing it wrong and you're feeling it mostly in your shoulders, that means that you're pulling too much or anything. It's really supposed to be a dead hang, stretch from the back, lift with your knees to your chest, and just, explode from there. But, look at my form. You guys rate me, grade me, whatever. There's a slight progression to this. If you can't do this, just start one knee at a time, but let's go. Right here, we got 345 on the bar. Doing it, this isn't my max. I think my max right now is about 375, 395. I squatted 395, and I did that for about 1.5 the other week. But, I'm slowly trying to progress myself up to, lifting more. So we're hitting 345. I wasn't able to do 345 about 2 weeks ago. And so slowly progressing. But again, if you can see me, I'm taking my time with the bar on my back, taking my breaks, and I'm bracing my core with every single squat that I do. So make sure that you're bracing your core and you're taking your time when doing these. And then we're going right back into it with the leg raises. So I usually squat, leg raise, squat, leg raise, squat, leg raise, squat, leg raise. And so you want to go back and forth in between it. After about 3 to 4 sets of each, you will be fatigued, you will be sweating, and you'll have that nice glisten in the gym so all the girls can look at you. But no, we're not doing it for no looks. Real talk, guys. Let's stay focused, try to work hard, and, just keep doing the leg raises. They will get tougher as you go, but that's a part of the grind, so just stay hard. And then we're going straight into it with leg extensions. I usually started off with lightweight, going 45 just to get, the motion in with my quads so I can start feeling a little bit better. And I do it slow. See how slow I'm coming down with the weight back down. It's not hard at all, but I try to do as many of these reps as possible. So AMRAP with those, focus on the time under tension, the full range of motion. And if you can see where my fingers are, they're on the part of my legs where I want to grow them the most. And I'm really using that mind muscle connection to make sure that I am growing that part of my quads. And that is the sole focus, of the movement itself. But the biggest thing is that if you're going to try to indicate that muscle that you're trying to grow, the best way to do it is by touching it or have somebody else, indicate that for you just with a light touch, and then you really focus on it. And that's why the time under tension and that mind-muscle connection, whenever you're actually indicating that specific muscle that you're trying to grow, matters so much. But again, I want to emphasize too that you don't necessarily have to use straps. You don't have to use, knee sleeves. You don't have to do any of that. Whatever feels comfortable to you. Me right now, putting my seat back and really getting that full stretch at the top, whenever I come back up for the concentric and then come down for the eccentric, that has helped me a lot more. I used to have my seat further up where, I don't have as much as a lean whenever I actually do my leg extensions, but now it's much better now that I can focus more on my actual quads. And whenever you do quad is the single best exercise you can do for your quads. Leg extensions are, I think I said quads, but leg extensions are the single best exercises you can do for your quads, because it hits all the muscles in your quads. It even hits some of the hamstrings, some of the calves depending too, and it's just the overall great exercise. And so if you can utilize these inside every single workout that you have, trust me, this is going to grow your legs like crazy. And right now I'm trying to grow crazy stupid quads to look like turkey legs, and so that means trying to do the hard work, focusing on that time and attention, getting right with my form. And yeah, let's get after it, guys. Next, you want to shout out to the homies. Shout out to my boy Louise for being at the gym and everybody else that was there. But next, we're going to do these raised, or I guess hovering knee to chest side bends. I have no clue what this is actually called. I guess it's just called knee to chest, twist. I was trying to focus on my obliques, focus on my lower abdomen, really try to get it in. When it comes to filling the core, you really want to keep your core tight as possible and maybe have a little bit of a hinge at your shoulders. And, you don't have to go as fast as me. After a while, after you start doing these for a period of time, they get very easy. I might have to progress to another ab exercise just because they are getting easier. But if you're a beginner, because these are beginner workouts, you want to make sure that you take your time. You really get a full stretch, full extension, and you want to get about 20 to 25 reps and then go right into the next exercise. Here we're doing hamstring curls. There's tons of names for it. I like to call them hamstring curls because it's literally like curling your hamstrings, getting that full stretch. And honestly, everybody has been telling me to, lean over and like what I'm doing now and just put my hands on the bars and actually bend with it, and you get way more of a stretch. It's kind of insane. I'm not really for putting my back up against the pad anymore. This is actually my first time doing that, but like the level of stretch that you feel in your actual hamstrings is insane. And I even started to feel it a little bit in my calves too. So I would definitely suggest giving this a try. You guys have probably done it before, but if you haven't, stop using the backrest, lean up a little bit, put your hands on those bars, and, make sure you're set. Again, make sure all your measurements and your adjustments are right according to your body. Me, I like to have my, the pad right behind my ankles whenever I do it. And really, again, time under tension, getting that full stretch at the top, and raising it as much as you can. It's all gonna be different for everybody. I'm 6'2", and so I have to get that full stretch. I need it behind my ankles, and I have to be very specific. So you do what you need to do to get that best stretch, guys. Next, we're jumping right into the standing calf raise. I'm not gonna lie, I honestly prefer the seated calf raise, or I guess calf stretch on the seated leg press machine. If you put your feet at the bottom and then really give yourself the stretch at the top and at the bottom, it's kind of amazing. With the standing calf raise, if you can see, my knees are kind of bending, and that's because it just feels a little bit best for me. I feel the most tension, and whenever I start to fatigue and I get to that bottom, it's way harder to really pull up. But as you can see right there, the balls of my feet kind of just fall off as I'm doing the standing calf raise. So I would rather prefer to, use the actual seat itself for leverage, so that I don't have to lift 250 pounds off the calf raise while also lifting another 200 and something pounds of whatever I weigh, and then going from there. But it's still a great exercise if you have nothing else for calves. Again, you want to go all the way at the bottom. See, my feet are damn near touching the floor, guys, and you want to try to lift as much as you can from the bottom all the way up to the top and really feel that tension and hold it. You see, I'm holding it for 1 to 2 seconds. That's really how you exert those calves and really make them big as possible. And so, do it my way, do it your way, do it however you need to do it. But just make sure that you're comfortable when doing it, that you don't feel no extra pain or anything like that. And that everything is just fluid when you do it. If you need to take pauses at the bottom and then try to stretch your legs from the top, completely do that. If you feel better without bending your knees, make sure you're doing it like that. But that's what the working weight is for, you guys. The working weight is for you to, look at yourself, see if you're doing it right, see if you're getting that full range of motion, see if there's some corrections that you can make before you actually start working on those heavier sets, and, make the adjustments according to how you feel.